my name is David Rakers. Welcome to BizzTalk. And today in our program, we have Zake Huang. He is Vice President of Authentrend, and Victor, he's Vice President of Business and Development. Gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning. I think it's good afternoon for you.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Okay, thank you so much to be part of this exciting program in BizzTalk. And of course, we have some questions we would like to ask you. And our first question is, could you tell something about yourself, Zake, and could you tell something about yourself, Victor? Just go ahead.
Sure. Okay. This is Zake Huang. Yeah, actually, I work for IT industry around 30 years. Starting from software engineer, product manager, sales, and some executive level positions. My previous job before the Authentrend, I worked in a fingerprint sensor company. So I think that's the reasons we build Authentrend and all our products building with a fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, and this is Victor. So as an introduction by David, so I'm responsible for business development. And before Authentrend, I was in there's a multinational company like Microsoft, Intel, and HP. But all of that is all sales and BD role in charge of those regional sales activity. So the reason why I joined Authentrend is also because Microsoft, Authentrend, we have a very pretty like similar goal of having those identification and security into the industry. So I'm pretty excited to be here and also to share those experience with you.
Tell us something about Authentrend, the organization itself, about the people who are working at this moment at Authentrend.
Authentrend today, we are not a big company yet, okay? And the headquarters and all the engineering resource located in Taiwan, Taipei. And we have sales in Japan, in US, and we have a new hirings almost confirmed in European. Yeah, so and our engineers majorly work from software part and also biometrics. Yeah, so our engineers are quite senior and more than 20 years in this industry. Yeah, so because as I mentioned, we come from fingerprint sensor company. So at the time, we believe password need to be solved by something. At that time, we think biometrics and FIDO are good, should be a good trend. So we started Authentrend and focus on the normal password.
Okay, can you explain to the listener something about Authentrend? Why did you start with Authentrend?
Yeah, so mentioned, I think everybody have password. Actually, inside our job, we always need to log in the PC. We need every 3 months to change the password, and IT needs a secure password. So actually, it's a lot of trouble for IT admin and also for user. So because we have rich experience for the biometrics, and at that time we also joined FIDO. So we believe maybe biometrics combined with FIDO might be the solution to kill those passwords. Yeah, so that's why we started Authentrend, and we believe so we can provide some solution or better product for passwordless world.
Well, if we talk about passwords, we know how difficult sometimes it is to maintain passwords. Also, the cost aspect for IT companies, for instance, is huge, especially when you want to recover passwords. So we want to move towards a passwordless society. Well, gentlemen, is that possible? And how long do you think will that take when all the passwords has left this planet?
Okay, from our understanding, actually ID password started from 1960. Okay, it almost 60 years. And currently we have a very popular like OTP one-time password. It starts from the 1980. Okay, so OTP one-time password get popular, maybe it's around spend like 10 or even 20 years. Okay, so we assume like password, because now technology moving fast, and FIDO, they just announced FIDO 2 for passwordless, and the final spec is year 2019. So we assume passwordless for commercial market, I mean for enterprise, might be maybe 5 or 10 years, because Microsoft new Windows 11 can support the passwordless already. Okay, but for consumer, because a lot of legacy, different kind of web service, maybe it will take a longer time. Yeah, maybe like 20 years like OTP. So yeah, I have confidence like maybe 5 or 10 more years for enterprise, you become passwordless.
Where did the name Authentrend comes from?
Okay, actually, it's Authentrend. The name is become the trend of authentication. So actually, we start this company. We believe our company work for the trend of authentication, and so we try to combine these two words, different combination, and of course, we need find available names we can trademark. Yeah, so that's why Authentrend, the trend of authentication.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for answering so far. Of course, Authentrend has a lot of products, such as the AT.Key.Pro. Perhaps one of you can explain to the listeners, the viewers, how it works.
Okay, so you can see the AT.Key.Pro is actually a very small and compact design. And we try to leverage this to provide the best fingerprint user experience. And because it's a tiny design, compact design, so you can always stay on your laptop and you don't need to remove it. And I think the user experience we provided with this product is you comparing to those product, the others product in the market, you can see the design is totally different, because our design put the fingerprint on this side. So when you attach to your laptop, you can easily slightly touch the fingerprint sensor, and then you can just log on to your system or those services you have. And the other design is even with like a design like this, we have a button in one of the keys. So when you press the button, you can just enable those what we call stand-alone enrollment. This is under our own patent. So that help you to easily to register your fingerprint without the PC, without the PC applications. So for most of the product, you need the application to help you to register your fingerprint onto the device. However, for us, the key is you just with a standalone enrollment. You don't need that. So it's also with a FIDO, MISA, and RSA certified. So for using the key, it will be very easy with a 3-step. First is just enroll your fingerprint, and then register to the services, and you just log on via your keys. And this key is very easy to use with some user probably will ask what kind of OS it can be supported. Actually, it's a HID device. So it's for all the OS, you can easy to plug in and use.
Yeah, you don't need to install any driver applications. You can just insert USB port, you recognize it and register your fingerprint, register to the service, then log in.
Chen, you shared also about this little button, so you can enroll your fingerprint without even using a laptop. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, if you can just use a power bank, you plug your USB in, you get power, right? So there's a button, you click for 3 times and verify the fingerprint is already enrolled. Then the LED is flashing, you can register your new fingerprint, just touch until the light turns to green. That means done. This is what we can call a standalone enroll. You don't need any PC, mobile phone application. It's green, so it's done. Yeah. So that's a fingerprint enroll, a standalone enroll.
Now, if you talk about these keys, how many fingerprints can be placed on this key, and how safe is it? Let's say if you talk about hackers or the man in the middle.
Okay, ATkey.Pro, you can allow the register maximum 10 fingerprints inside the key. Okay, and for the security, I think different kind of layers of security. One is like fake finger. The second is someone tried to steal something from the key. Okay, so I explained the man in the middle first. Our fingerprint sensor actually, when you enroll, we will store the digital text template inside the secure element hardware. Okay, so user cannot store from the that kind of software application or outside the equipment because it's inside the hardware. And the secure element we're using the solution is FIPS 140-2 level 3 certified MCU chip. So secure label is volumeless. Okay. The second thing is if someone tried to using the fake finger to do the authentication. Okay. Our fingerprint sensor itself actually come from Taiwan company, the Aegis. They are also the Samsung the mobile phone, the major fingerprint sensor provider. So there's like a 2D anti-spoofing, 2.5D anti-spoofing, 3D anti-spoofing. They have a certain level of attack. And our design, if you do the fingerprint matching 3 times fail, it will stop. At the most, you can do like 15 times, then you will reset. Okay, so even the very super hacker, they try to hack like kind of a mobile phone or fingerprint devices. They always need to try like maybe 100 times or maybe more. So yeah, our key is not allows us to try so many times, and there is a certain label and that spoofing algorithm inside. So the hacker to copy the fingerprint or hacker try to hack hardware. There's no way to do that. Yeah.
About the keys, is it only for Happy Few? Is it for business to consumer? Is it business to business? Is it both? Please elaborate on that.
Okay. Within the keys is designed for those not only for limited to those business to business or those business to consumer users. Actually, it can be applied and adopted to many industries, including those institution or education. And we do have many customers from government. And those are for like healthcare, they need those key or fingerprint to identify their patients and with those records behind. And so especially for like financing and the manufacturing. we do have those customers in those multiple industries. So we believe those for the keys that can be applied and be used for many industries.
About the Authentrend card, who can elaborate on the working of it and explain to the viewer how it works and why it's beneficial? For instance, it has to do for one of the reasons is access management.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you the ATkey.Card. So you can see that it's actually just like a normally like an employee badge size of card. So actually equipped with a battery inside. So you can register for 8 fingerprints on the fingerprint sensor. So this card actually enable USB. It's with like a USB you can plug in on your devices, and also with supporting Bluetooth and NFC. So that can work with multiple devices. So it is a very similar features like ATkey.Pro while you using your fingerprint. However, after you have your fingerprint very dated, and then that can enable the Bluetooth or the NFC to access to the systems or to like your like a gate control. So so we believe this like a card design can be applied to multiple enterprise users scenario. Yeah. So the other things is if you have out of a battery, you can still use this card with the USB plug-in onto the devices. So you still keep the function.
And also do a battery charge.
If you look at the application of this card, for what kind of application can you use this?
For our current customer base, the first one is for university. They take this card as student ID. So because they have fingerprint, so they go to the classroom, they need verify fingerprint and touch the NFC devices. So like check in to the class and to the backend. And so they're using this card student ID for the classroom check-in and also to log in their university, their student account to the server, to the cloud. And we also have other customer, they use this card for the factory. So when you, because the door locker normally is NFC. So if you use a no badge card, employee can borrow the badge card each other. So using this fingerprint badge card, you might enroll your fingerprint. So only you can use the one. So you can do the asset control. You don't need to worry about different people use a different card. And not only for asset control, this one also can work for his working computer to log in their account. Yeah, so for the we have real case for the university student ID. We have real case as of employee badge in manufacturing, and we also have some project for healthcare. They're using this card to identify the patient's identity and to combine some data to send out to the server. Yeah, so actually the card is not only a FIDO, they also can have different way to integrate with your applications because it's easy to identify and also it's card type. So and they support the Bluetooth, NFC, and USB. So there's flexible to fit some different kind of applications.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about the wallet. Why did you come up with a wallet?
The reason actually is simple. We start from biometric, right? So we think biometric can replace password, and we saw the that kind of cryptocurrency wallet on the market. Most of them use PIN code. So you need two things. One is not secure. Second is complicated to operate. For example, if you need having 8 PIN codes, you need using 2 buttons to continue let 10 digits to move. Okay, but if you want a very simple pin code, maybe someone beside you can easy to see what kind of pin code you type in. So blockchain actually is a very secure technology, but the ledger, the entry is just very simple pin code. So we don't think that's the right approach. We believe using the fingerprint biometrics, it can replace that kind of pin code for the blockchain work for the cryptocurrency. So that's why we start design our blockchain cryptocurrency product with biometric. And why we design card type, because we believe maybe later the blockchain wallet can similar like the payment card, credit card, can pay on the store if the store have cryptocurrency POS, and card type with the best form factor for that. Yeah, so that's why we design AT.Wallet, building the fingerprint, and also the credit card type, the wallet card.
Another product Authentrend carries is AuthFi. It's very interesting development, a beautiful product, by the way. Can you elaborate on that too?
You know, FIDO, we start from FIDO key. It's client authenticator, and you need a server, right? So Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, they provide server, okay? But normally, not every web service or cloud service, they have their own FIDO server. So we start from FIDO, so we have our in-house FIDO server, certified FIDO server, okay? At the beginning time, we also provide our FIDO server to our partner, like VM. So they need to integrate by themselves. They need some expertise or knowledge how to implement. We find this is not right business model because a lot of web service, they don't have knowledge about FIDO. They just want their web service with security, can do a passwordless login or multi-factor authentication. So at that time, we think, how about we create a FIDO cloud? So the web service, they don't need to know about FIDO. They just need to adapt to our FIDO cloud. So just ATI integration, the sample code integration, their web service, their user can log in to their web service through the FIDO way, the passwordless or NFA, depends on their decision. So that's why we come out AT.AuthFi, the on-demand FIDO cloud, because if your web service, you don't want to maintain the user ID password, worry about security, you can just apply to AT.AuthFi. And you can get API key, API document, sample code, integrate to your web service. Then your user can have the FIDO key, like our AT key. Then they can log in the web service without password. Yeah, so this is why we call AuthFi, why we call it on-demand FIDO cloud, because only when you want to log in, you need user, and user don't know there's a FIDO cloud in background. Yeah, the user experience is transparent. Yeah, so nothing impact to your original web service, just change the way to log in.
Okay, great. By the way, about that, Zake, so it's you get APIs. So there's not an SDK kit or something which you supply as an organization. You develop your own application. It's just APIs you provide, and
just API to connect to API. You need an API to your web service, then you can connect to AuthFi. Yeah, for that kind of passwordless or multi-factor authentication. Yeah, and we also provide simple code. So actually, it's very easy to implement. Yeah.
About OTP, please elaborate on that.
For OTP, as you know, OTP actually is it's just kind of shared secret because you can see like 6 or 4 digits. Okay, so the shared secret means It's hackable. It's phishable. Yeah. So the real case like Twitter, actually in the year 2020, the July, Twitter they are using OTP, but they get hacked. They get a phishing, their CEO get a phishing vote and their OTP code, and so they get hacked. So Twitter they change all employee from the OTP to FIDO key today. And actually this year, Coinbase, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange platform, Coinbase, they are using OTP also, but they also get hacked. Yeah, just as I mentioned, the OTP, the phishable, is a shared secret. So OTP actually is because already like 40 years, there's you can find easy to find how to hack OTP from internet. Yeah, they have 4 or 5 different ways to hack OTP. Yeah, so that's why the FIDO come out. FIDO emphasize no, not share any secret. So FIDO always using like a signed public key. They don't use it like a code or something because it can be hacked or phishing. So we believe all the new adoption there was by FIDO instead of OTP. And
well, we know that companies like Authentrend, high-tech companies, work with partners. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I think we have 2 kind of major partner. One is like Microsoft, like FIDO, like RSA. Yeah, they certify or validate our FIDO key. So our key become the trust key for their service. Okay, at least one. So you can see we start passwordless pilot program with Microsoft from year 2020. Yeah, so and through the program, we have more than 100 registered reseller institutions enterprise to this program. So yeah, this is a kind of strategic partner. And another kind of partner is like technology, like we partner with Infineon for secure element, the hardware chip. We partner with Broadcom for the MCU, the secure MCU. We partner with Aegis for the fingerprint sensor. Yeah, so we always leverage this kind of very strong brand chipset to build our product. Yeah, so we have these 2 kind of partner for business strategy and also for our product.
Okay, about the authentication market, we know it's perhaps huge or it's growing. So what is your opinion when you talk about and view the authentication market on itself? Who can elaborate on that?
Okay. Yeah, as you just mentioned, is cybersecurity is covering lots of different industry and usage, right? So we are pretty focusing on those identity and authentication area, especially on FIDO, as we just shared and talk about our product. So, but from the market data, the global MFA market size is projected to grow from USD $11 billion in the 2021, and like 5 years later, which is 2026, it will increase to 23.5 billion. So that will be reflect on the compound annual growth rate of 16.2% from those period. So you can see the market actually growing pretty fast. So I think everybody observed that, and almost all the people in the industry of cybersecurity wants to grab and catch the growth. About the global FIDO authentication market is also with a huge growth. So the current projection is from now to 2031, it will grow to $8 billion. So that will reflect a CAGR of 22.8%. during the almost like 10 years from now. So we believe that will be a huge market with all the like the technology, and those industry people will get involved and try to sell and build the technology and sell to more industry, enterprise, and those individuals.
Okay, so we heard that the authentication market is huge. It's growing. And of course, authentication, it can be used for the consumer, for the business side of it, business to business, of course. So why should a IT department or a CEO or even a CISO want to choose for a cyberkey or authentication in general?
Okay, there's multiple reasons. The first things from the Verizon repo, that every 2 years they come out, they kind of data breach repos. So far, let's still around 80% the data leak because of a weak password or password stolen. So for IT department, it's a very challenge to them to maintain the employee ID password and make it secure, because even today, still 80%. The second thing is for the enterprise. Actually, from Gartner, the report, there's 20 to 50% IT help desk is for reset password, because you need to change password regularly. Your complete password easy to forget. So IT spend 20 to 50 to help like kind of password reset. And from the repos, actually each reset, the cost is $7 to $70 US dollar. Okay, so the Microsoft, they have a real case in year 2017. They reset around
868,000 times.
Yeah, so they cost like $12 million. Okay, and another thing is from they can let's pass repos. They do research and they count a lot of pain point from employees and also IT for password. Like for employee, the top one is they need change the password regularly, 56%. Yeah, it's a pain point. The second is they need to have a long and complicated password. Yeah, it's almost 50%. And every application they need to type in the password. Yeah, almost 50%. And how they manage the password? They need to write down somewhere. It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the pain point, the top pain point from employee, and from IT admin point of view, the top one is user just forgetting their password. It's almost 50%. The second is IT. They need time spent for password management. Yeah, because so many employees and maybe a different rule. Okay. And the third one is employee may share their credentials. So they cannot management. If I tell you my password, you help me log in, they cannot control. Okay. And another one is the loss of stolen employee credential. Yeah. So from employee point of view, they had password. From IT point of view, they need to spend a lot of effort to manage password. So that's why passwordless become the, I think before passwordless is NFA, multi-factor authentication. Yeah, it's secure for sure, but you still need to manage your password. So the cost is not low, and usability not good. But passwordless, it can really solve the problem. So yeah, we heard a lot of different kind of regional customer. Yeah, if they can become passwordless, employee is happy, IT is happy. Of course, both will be happy. Yeah.
Of course, we know Authentrend is a high-tech company. Although you said we are a young company, and that has benefits, of course, especially when it comes to new developments. So I'm very excited to hear from you. What are some new developments going on in Authentrend?
Okay. We start from FIDO key and FIDO server, and FIDO actually is a more the cloud oriented solution. So, but a lot of enterprise or institution, they are still using on-premise solution, not cloud. So now we are developing our new solution. We're bringing the FIDO to on-premise environment. So we'll have new product called AT.Logon later. You can support the FIDO for your on-premise AD environment. Passwordless to log in your AD account, your intranet service, or even your VPN. Yeah, this is one. Another one is zero trust is getting popular, getting hot today. And the first step of zero trust is identity. We are also doing the zero trust identity part, and we're starting from the Taiwan government. Yeah, so it's not only just FIDO key, FIDO server, also including the like kind of decision engine or LDAP with your Active Directory, and XAML with your web service RP. Yeah, it's another solution. We are focused on zero trust government for identity. And as you mentioned, we have AT.Wallet for blockchain. So we are also work for the kind of decentralized identity, because now FIDO is centralized, the server, but blockchain is decentralized. So we believe someday identity authentication will also become decentralized. You won't credential by yourself, not in server. So you can do a decentralized identity authentication on blockchain. Yeah, so this is what we are doing today, and we have a new product coming this year or maybe next year. So this kind of application or solutions.
Okay, talking about Authentrend, of course, business to business, business to consumer, or both. So why should a consumer or a company choose for Authentrend?
Yeah, from the previous introductions, you can see that we are not only providing the keys, but actually we have the best design of biometric FIDO keys. Easy to use with all the patterns and the technology that we can put together. And so we believe from the key, if you want to use the FIDO keys point of view, ATkey can be the best choice. But we are not only offer FIDO keys. We also offer like FIDO Cloud or FIDO server on virtual machines to fit into customers' demand. So from end to end, we have keys, we have a server, we have services to meet those enterprise and the industrial customers' usage. And to think about our advantage, we are a technology company. We develop our own product, including hardware, and those solutions, including software. So we are pretty confident with our technology capability to provide those flexibility of all the different business models. And we can easily to provide the users, if they have any like software tools or SDK demand, I believe our engineering team can come out with that kind of a support. So that's the reason why we think even though we are a small company, we're new to many of the development market user. However, we are pretty confident with our capability and the technology.